Morning year one, let's warm up our maths brains. Are you ready? Let's have a look at our 100 square. Here you can find me the number 63. The number 63. Where's the number 63? It's in the threes column, isn't it? Because we've got that number's got 3 ones. It's not 13, 23, 33, 43, 53. It's the number 63. Now we're going to partition the number 63. First we're going to partition it into tens and ones. Can you partition the number 63 into tens and ones? If I pull that number apart, you guys are awesome at this now. Pause the video, record it on your part hole. Great, we should have the number 60 and the number 3. Right, okay, let's have a go at partitioning it into more than just tens and ones. We could partition the 60 here, or you could partition the 3. It's entirely up to you. Pause the video now, see if you can find a way of partitioning 63 into 3 parts. This is just one way. I know that 3 and 3 is 6, so 30 and 30 is 60. We could have done 50 and 10 and 3. I could have kept my 10s, could have kept 6, and I could have partitioned my 3 into 1 and 2. Now, yesterday was the last lesson on solving word problems. So today we're going to do the mind workout. We're going to do the review, which reviews all of the concepts, everything that we've been looking at over the last few weeks and the last few lessons. So here I've got 2 numbers. Now I'm going to tell you that 11 is the whole number and 7 is the part. Do we know what adds to 7 to make 11? Do we know that number fact? No, we don't, do we? But we know what adds to 7 to make 10. What do we add to 7 to make 10? What number bond to 10? 7 and 3. Now, 7 and 3 doesn't make 11. So how can I use that number fact to help me? What makes it 11? If 7 and 3 makes 10, 7 and what will make 1 more than 10? That's right, I need to change that number to the number 4. 7 and 4. It's a near number bond to 10, isn't it? 7 and 4 makes 11. 11 is 1 more than 10. 4 is 1 more than 3, and 3 and 7 makes 10. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to use these numbers here. This is your whole number. These are your parts, and I'd like to see if you can make a word problem using those 3 numbers. 11 is your whole number, remember, so if you've got 4 of something and 7 of something else, altogether you're going to have 11. See if you can invent a story now. Pause the video. Right, here is my example of a number story. Ooh, I wonder if it's a takeaway or an adding. Let's have a look. At first, there were 11 snails on a grass patch. Then 7 snails crawled away. I've got 11 snails. Oh my goodness, me need the pen. 11 snails. 7 crawled away. Here we are. Here we've got 7 moving away from the large group. So that's right, it's a takeaway, isn't it? How many snails were left? There were 4 snails. And here's my 11, which is my whole number. Here's my 7, which is my part. And here's my 4, which is a part. 4 snails remained on the grass patch. You're going to now move into your Maths No Problem workbooks, and you're going to complete the review pages in your Maths No Problem book. But before you do, let's have a quick go at the mind workout. For this, I'd like you to use your whiteboards and your pens, and I would like you to represent, or you can also use your straws alongside it. I'd like you to represent that Ravi has got 8 blue blocks. Can you represent that? I'd like you to represent that on your whiteboards, and I'd like you to represent that with your straws. 8 blue blocks. Can you represent 8? Okay. I'm going to represent 8 here. I'm going to draw them in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, he's got 4 fewer blue blocks then he's got red blocks. Well, let me read that again. He's got 4 fewer blue blocks than he's got red blocks. So does he have fewer blue blocks or does he have fewer red blocks? He's got 4 fewer blue blocks, meaning he's got more red blocks. So I represent his red blocks. I'm going to represent more. So let me represent the red blocks, which are going to be the same. Here we go. I've now got the same number of blue blocks and red blocks, but he's got 4 fewer blue than he's got red. Oh, there we go. So you can see I've got a gap for 1 blue block, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 less blue blocks than there are red blocks. How many red blocks is that all together then? So I can represent this part here, can't I? The part that's the same, so I can have 8 blocks and the extra 4 blocks. Do we know that? Is that a number fact that we know? No, it's not, is it? 8 and 4. 8 and what makes a 10? 8 and 2 makes a 10. And if I partition 4, I'd have 2 and 2. That's a double, isn't it? So here's my 10. 10 and 2 more. What's 10 and 2 more? If I get a 10 and I slide the 2 in front, what number will I have? That's right, I have the number 12. So Ravi has 12 red blocks. That's really tricky. Looking forward to seeing your work later on tapestry.